catch them the stars in the night. Every superpower that is yours will be mine. I'll be that it girl, pouting mouth, crossing the line. I do the same, I'm a sinner. I do the same, I'm a sinner. I wanna live your life.
Maybe I was confused, or did you feel it too? In that room it suddenly just felt like it was me and you. Cause I forgot about your friend, what's his name again? I really can't recall a single thing of what he said to me. It was just like waking up from a fever dream. When I found out that you have someone else and that she knows about me. What a waste on such chemistry. But if we could fuck the rules, you would be with me. If I'm not supposed to think about you like this, then universe a bitch, universe a bitch. Cause every single thought leaves your name on my lips. Universe a bitch, universe a bitch. Wish I could cut myself loose, but I hold on to you. Now I'm in your city, wasting time, oh God, I wish you knew.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I hope that you guys are doing well, and I am in the office today. It is Wednesday, so I haven't been in the office since last week Friday. So as you know, on Monday on the 20th it was a national shutdown, and so I worked from home. And then Tuesday it was a holiday, and today is a work day. So I'm at work and we are having problems with the network, which means that, let me just switch off this thing. Currently I'm struggling to connect to the network, and that means that it's really hard for me to work, but fine, I'll do with what I have and we'll figure it out. Anyway, I thought that while I'm still trying to figure out that network, or while it's still trying to figure itself out, that we talk a little bit about how do you write a CV when you do not have work experience. Now, I got this request in one of my videos and I've been wanting to actually talk about it. Actually, I did do a video on one of my workday vlogs, and the only reason I did not publish that video is because it was just not good quality. And besides just the good quality, the sound was horrible. Like sometimes I can work with quality of the video, like my editing app my editing thing that I use, LumaFusion, is very good when it comes to just, salvaging some of those bad footage. But when it comes to sound, no. So today I brought my mic just to make sure that the sound is clear, because whenever I'm talking in this office and I don't have the mic, it just feels like it's all over, like the sound is just not crisp. So I have the mic today, and I decided that, let's actually, as part of this vlog, of this daily vlog, or basically this work day in my life, let's actually talk about how to write a CV if you do not have work experience. Now, as I said, I got this request from one of my subscribers here, and I feel like this is a perfect time to talk about it. So there are two things when it comes to that. If you do not have work experience, I'm assuming that you're applying for internships. So you are a graduate and you're applying for internships. And secondly, I'm assuming that if you're not a graduate, or let's say for instance, you're not a graduate, maybe you have your highest qualification is matric or even grade 10, but you do not have like a diploma or a degree. You don't have a diploma or a degree. So I'm assuming that then you're applying for jobs that do not need work experience, because there are those jobs. Now let's start with the person that is applying for internships. Even though I feel like for both these scenarios, it's very easy when it comes to how to write a CV, because the whole reason why you would apply for a job that says it doesn't need work experience is because it doesn't need it. And so you are the perfect candidate for the job. Now let's say you're a graduate and you're applying for internships because you just graduated and you're looking for work exposure, work experience. Now you don't really need to worry yourself about work experience, because the whole point of an internship is to give you work experience. However, the trick here is with your skills. So what I want you to do whenever you are crafting your CV is, okay, you're going to have your personal information. After your personal information, you're going to have your qualifications, and you're going to list all of your qualifications. And I would advise you that you list as well, as part of your qualification, you list your majors as well. So those are your third year modules that you did. You need to list those, because they kind of give you an idea of what type of internships you would likely qualify for, or type of internships or sections you would likely be perfect for. So you want to make sure that you list those majors, name. And then after your qualification, then you go straight into your skills. Remember, you do not have work experience, especially if you have nothing. But if you've had piece jobs somewhere, please include it, because even though it's not going to be relevant to you getting the internship, however, it's going to show that you have held some sort of a job before. Because the most important thing is that when you get into a job or when you get into a role, is to be able to take instruction. And so if you're a person that has done some piece job somewhere, even if it was for 3 months, 6 months, include that there if you have it. But if you don't have it, don't stress yourself. Go straight into the skills. So what I want you to do here is I want you to look at the skills that you have. Now, I'm assuming that you didn't just go to university to get just your qualification. And I'm going to do a video about this if I haven't posted it already. That you going to university just to get the paper is not going to open doors for you. You need more than that. You need to expose yourself. You need to build your skills. Now, I want you to then craft your CV or craft your skills in a way that it shows you as an ideal candidate for this internship, as a person that is actually hungry for this internship. There's someone that when you get into this internship, you will be able to put yourself out there and learn and absorb as much as possible. Remember, the internship is not about delivering, it's more so about learning. So you need to be a sponge. So I want you to look at the skills that you have. So some of the skills that are going to be very crucial whenever you're applying for an internship is computer skills. Now, I don't want you to list the skills. Now, this is what many people fail when it comes to writing their CVs. They list their skills. You don't want to do that. You want to actually explain the type of skills that you have. So you're going to have your skills as the main title, and then you're going to have subtitles. So first subtitles will be the category of skills. So as I'm saying, computer skills. And then I want you to write a short paragraph of actually 2 to 3 lines. Basically, two lines is fine. 3 lines, good. I want you to write a short paragraph, as I said, up to 3 lines, not more than that, of just explaining the type of computer skills that you have. So what I want you to do there, if you have done computer if you did computer as one of your modules at school, please include that, and also include the Microsoft packages that you are familiar with. And also please mention how good are you. Is it basic knowledge, intermediate, or advanced knowledge? Please mention that, because that's going to give a picture of how good are you when it comes to those skills. And then the next thing, you go to the next one. So you're going to come into the second skill that is very important whenever you are applying for internship, is communication skills, because communication skills is going to tell them if you are a good listener, if you're a person that they can rely on when it comes to, okay, now you have to send letters, now you have to engage with stakeholders, now you have to write emails, can you be able to actually do those things? Whenever you're doing an internship, no one is going to hold your hand and actually show you how to do these things. You actually will be given a task and you have to do it. And then if you are struggling, that is when you can be assisted. But no one is going to hold your hand and actually show you how to do things. And so you need to be a person that is on your toes. And so these skills are very important. So you need to also write a short paragraph of your communication skills, both written and verbal. And if you have done any sort of writing before, let's say for instance you've written essays, you've written reports at school, mention those. If you've also presented at school, please mention that, because that is part of communication skills. Every time when you are writing your skills, write it in a paragraph. Whether you are a person that has work experience or not, everyone actually, when it comes to writing your skills, don't just list them, you want to actually expand on them. And then the next skill that is very important when it comes to applying for an internship is interpersonal skills. Now I want you to then go and look at yourself and understand where are your strongest point, where are you strong at. Are you a good team player? Are you a good listener? Are you a person that takes instructions very easily? Do you interact well with people? I want you to write a paragraph about your interpersonal skills. So those are the main skills that I feel like are very important when it comes to securing an internship. That's how you write a CV if you're applying for internships and you don't have work experience. The last thing is your references. Everyone knows how to write references. Maximum of references is 3, guys. You don't need more than 3 references. So you're going to have your Z33 as the top page, and then you're going to have your CV the following page. And then now let us go into, and also don't stress about your CV being a 1 page. It doesn't matter how long your CV is. The most important thing is the content of the CV. So let us get into someone now who's applying, who doesn't have, let's say for instance, they don't have, or maybe they do have a degree, they do have a diploma, they do have matric, or they just have matric alone, but they're applying for permanent jobs that do not need work experience. Now you need to make sure that you pay attention to the post, because this is where I feel like people fail at also when it comes to how they craft their CVs, is that they look at the post, they look at the requirements in terms of, oh, you need this, you don't need this, and then they're going to go and write a CV, but they never go back to the post and properly analyze it in terms of what are you going to be expected to do. Once you understand what you're going to be expected to do, it becomes easy for you to speak to the post. Now you go to the post on DPSA. There are a lot of posts. Actually, even last week on the DPSA that came out on the 17th, there are a couple of posts there that do not need work experience, that just need you to have grade 12. That is the highest qualification. So I want you to do the same thing. You do your personal information. And please, whenever you're writing your personal information, don't include things like criminal records. Don't include things like health, whatever. Don't include things like that. The most important thing is your name, surname, ID, date of birth, cell phone number, email address. And then if you have a driver's license, include it there. And then you come into your education, mention your highest education. If your highest education is grade 10, mention that. If your highest education is grade 12, mention that. Write where you got it from, which school you got it from, what was the level. So in terms of it's grade 12, and then when did you obtain it? And then you go straight into, if you have more than grade 12, you do the same thing. You start with the highest qualification, and then let's go into now your skills. Now remember, this is someone that doesn't have the work experience, but I'm just assuming that as a person that is applying for a permanent job and that job says it doesn't have work experience, what they are saying here is you do not need to have relevant work experience, but you can have any other work experience. So if you have worked as a cashier somewhere, you have worked as a helper somewhere, you have done something somewhere, include that in your CV. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing there's nothing wrong as mentioning those things, because those things also bring value in terms of showing that you have held a job. So include that as part of your work experience. That is, if you have done anything after you finished school. They said it can even be working as a cashier. Include that in there. Include the work that you have done. And after you've included that, I don't want you to go into your duties and list everything that you have done. I want you to go into your duties and actually expand on the things that you feel like would be relevant to the skills that are needed for this particular job that you're applying for. As you can, as I'm hoping that you guys are understanding me. So let's say, for instance, you worked as a cashier, and this job is actually something that has to do with customer service or dealing with, stakeholders and clients within this particular department. Now, I want you to, whenever you are talking about your work experience, look at the things that you feel like they correlate to the post. Not everything. I don't want you to mention that you swept the floor. I don't want you to mention that you cleaned the tills and make sure that they were presentable. I don't want you to do that, especially if the post doesn't need that. But if the post says that it wants someone that is tidy and clean, then mention that. But if it doesn't need that, there's no need to mention that. And this applies to everyone else, by the way, whenever you are writing your CV. So you look at the things you have done, you look at the posts, you try and link them. And then after that, if you don't have any work experience, you can jump this. But I would really encourage you that right now, if you do not have any work experience, you've not done anything in your life, go find something to do. Go find something to do. Don't sit at home and wait to be employed somewhere. Go find something to do. If it means that you become a helper somewhere, if it means you become a cleaner, if it means that you become a nanny, if it means that you wash people's laundry, if it means that you work at a shop, it doesn't matter. Go find something to do, because that is very important. It's going to help you in terms of strengthening your interpersonal skills. Now, let's get back to the skills. Now, when it comes to the skills, I want you to do the exact same thing that I just talked about whenever you are for the CV of someone that is applying for an internship. Same thing. I want you to do the same thing. I'm not going to repeat myself and say this is how you write your skills, because I've already actually talked about that. So you do the same thing. You write your skills. You expand on your skills. However, the difference here is that this one is applying for an internship, and most of the time internships don't say anything about skills, but you want to include that. But when it comes to a permanent position that doesn't need work experience and you're trying to apply for that post, as you look at the post, normally it will say what type of skills it will need from you. So sometimes it will say communication skills, sometimes it will say computer skills, sometimes it will say they need someone that is knowledgeable with data management or document management, whatever, depending on the type of the post, they will say that. I remember there was this post that I saw on Department of Agriculture, and it was looking for someone that doesn't have work experience, and it said that it wanted someone that has numerical skills. Now, there clearly they want someone that did maths, even maths leads, even as low as when you did it in high school, for the fact that you know how to count from 1 to 100. There is numeral skills. For the fact that you know that if you add 1 if you say 1 plus 1, you get 2. When you say 5 plus 5, you get 10. When you say 2 plus 2, you get 4. So long as you know those things, that is what they were looking for. That is a skill that they were looking for in this position, even though they don't need work experience, because the position that they were advertising, they wanted someone that will be able to count crops. So because they deal with planting and all the stuff, they need someone to be able to count how many crops do we have, record and all the stuff. So those are the things that they need. And so what you do is you look at the post and say, what type of job will I be expected to do here? And then you come back and you craft your skills base that are speaking to these skills, to the requirements in terms of the skills in terms of what you'll be expected to do. So as I said in this post, it said wanted someone that is good, that has numerical skills. So you're going to write that as your broad statement, that okay, numeral skills, and then you say what did you do? You did maths lit, or you did mathematics and you got what percentage in maths, or how did you do with your maths in high school. If you even went as far as varsity, if you did any sort of statistics included in there. So basically you just want to expand on your numeral skills and how good are you when it comes to counting things. And then if, let's say, that job you're going to be required to do document management, that's going to be your main subtitle. So it's going to be document management, and then you're going to come in and write a short paragraph of what do you know about document management. And so we know that when it comes to document management, there is manual and then there is electronical, and so you want to expand on both of those things. Manual is basically when you make sure that you file documents physically. So I'll just give you an example. So you have documents that are printed out, so maybe it might be memos, it might be interview, it might be whatever type of documents, but physical, you file them in files. That's manual. But then when it comes to electronical, that is when you actually go into your emails, you go into wherever. Now you make sure that you file those in whatever system that is being used. So that is electronical. And the importance of the electronical is the backup of the manual. So you want to make sure that if anything happens in the electronical, you have manual. If anything happens to the manual, you have electronical. That is document management. And then you go into computer skills. If you have done any sort of computer, you know how to operate a computer, you know how to switch it on and off. And normally I would really suggest that if you finished your matric but you never went to school, go and get a computer certificate somewhere, but like with a registered institution. Don't just go anywhere. No, so get something that will equip you with computer, even if you don't get a qualification, but you need to know how a computer works, because eventually you will be required to use a computer in work. So talk about your computer skills, and then you talk about your communication skills. Those are most crucial things. But as I said here, what you want to do is you look at the post and you write on skills that speak to the post, that show how you qualify for this job, and that also show how you can be a good candidate for this job. That's what you want to elaborate. And then after that, you go straight to references. So that's how you write a CV as a person that doesn't have work experience. Simple and straightforward, nothing complicated about it. And so I'm hoping that by me sharing these things with you, they're going to allow you to craft your CV in a better way. Now that we have spoken about this, I'm hoping that is going to be helpful, and I'm hoping that is also straightforward. So I'm going to get back to work. I'll see you guys later.
There's a party downtown, someone said that you're coming by. Let me know when you're here, meet me up for a smoke outside. I regret what I said, didn't mean it. Yeah, believe me, I guess I'll take it back. There's a party downtown, someone said that you're coming by. I know that summer was a big mistake. I just hope that we're still okay. You always pick me up and let me down. We're spinning around, losing our minds. Damned if we do, damned if we don't, damned if we give in to what we want. And I always pick you up and let you down.
Hi guys, so it is the afternoon now, and we're getting very close to me picking up my daughter. So I'm sure you guys are wondering, were you not in the office in the morning? Why are you at home like now, and why are you working from home now? So as I said in the morning, if you remember, I said that we're having problems with the network. So I stayed in the office waiting for the network to pick up and for me to be eventually connected so that I can eventually work, even though I was able to do some things, but I wasn't able to be properly efficient. And there were some tasks that I needed to do. I needed to send letters out, and I couldn't do that without access to my emails. And so I asked my supervisor if I can just come back home and work from home. Now, in where I stay, we don't experience load shedding, and so I can properly work at home without being disturbed. My Wi-Fi is strong, fast, so I'm grateful for that. So I was able to come back at home. So I came back at home. I left work around 12, and then I was at home around 1, and so I've been just working since. But I'm not gonna lie to you, there was a time in between 2 and 3 or in between 1:30 and 2:30, where I couldn't work. Like, I was just so tired, so tired. I remember I stood up and I cleaned, literally swept the floor, because, well, the floors were a mess. But I decided to just stand up and sweep the floors, because I was like, okay, I am not effective. I'm really trying to focus here and do this, but I'm struggling. That, like, I sent one letter, I sent one email, a letter, and then I realized that as I was trying to send out other letters, it was just so difficult. So I stood up, I actually swept the floors, and they call that, what is this? Being productive procrastination. So basically, instead of doing what you're supposed to do, you decide to do something else, which makes you look like you're productive, but you're basically procrastinating something that you're supposed to be doing. That was me today. But it actually helped, because I actually drank a lot of water and then I swept the floors. By the time I sat down here, I was actually able to push, and so I was able to do all of these letters. And now it is time for me to knock off, and I'm gonna go pick up my daughter at school, and then we are just gonna start with our nighttime routine. But I just wanted to come here because I'm sure you guys are like, okay, Jen, like, and honestly, I haven't been filming since I came home. I've just been focusing on this because my priority was sending out these letters and making sure that I don't do mistakes, because it is a lot of letters. And so I've just been focusing on that, and I couldn't film. So I just took some time to take a few snippets of me working, but I've been working for hours, not, you know, the few minutes that you see here or the few seconds that you see here. So I decided to also just come here and talk to you guys, even though I was reluctant. I was like, should I make this a weekly vlog? Should I take it to another day? I'm not sure if I'm gonna take it to another day, but for now I wanted to come here and just give you a big, you know, tell you what is going on, why I'm at home, what happened, and yeah, man. So that is what I wanted to just come here and talk to you guys about. And I think that I'm also going to close off this video officially, because I do know that I do have some talking segments where I was talking about writing a CV if you do not have work experience. And I feel like that talking part is going to be very long, that I do not want this vlog to be too long. I could be creating long vlogs, but honestly, sitting down and editing those vlogs takes a lot out of me, especially because I post twice a week. So it's very important for me to be able to create content like this, to be fast, to be able that every time when I create content, I'm able to edit and actually post. Like the video that I posted today, it's Wednesday. I shot that video on Tuesday on a holiday. I edited it in the afternoon on Tuesday. By 9:30 I was done. I posted it, and then on 12 during the day I was ready to just publish it. But I did everything the night before. I shot the video in the same day, edited it the same day. And so that for me, it's very important that whenever I'm creating content, that I'm able to pump it out. I'm able to be efficient when I'm creating, be able to edit and post, because I post videos twice, and that for me is very important. And that is why, if you've noticed, I do not have a lot of I don't have old videos that, like, I wouldn't post something that is 3 months or 2 months or even a month old in my videos, because in my channel, because I do not have that luxury to sit on content for that long, because I need content every time, and because of my schedule as well. So I don't think that I'm going to make this a weekly vlog. And also, I'm just asking myself, what am I going to be showing for it to be a weekly vlog? It's not like I'm going to be doing anything. I'm going to be going to work tomorrow, and I'm going to be coming back on Monday. On Friday, I'm going to be working from home. And so what am I really going to be showing that's going to be, you know, significant for me to show? There really isn't much. So for this video, we are going to close it off and just call it a day. I'm going to go fetch my daughter, and then we're going to start with our nighttime routine, as I've also indicated. And I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed this video, but more than anything, I'm hoping that you guys found some good nuggets on the part of CV writing for people that do not have work experience. I hope that is going to be helpful. Every time when I'm doing a vlog now, I try to put something that will be of value, especially if it's work vlog. I target work vlogs that much, that okay, if I'm going to be showing you guys working and all the stuff, let it not just be an inspiration for you guys, but also let it be educational somehow. And so I try to put in some educational things in there that I feel do link. And I'm hoping that you guys are appreciating that. I'm also appreciating the love and support that you guys continuously show me. I truly appreciate it, and please do it to other people as well. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.